see whether Zeus does want to pull the trigger. Yeah, Yasuo makes the most sense. Yeah, 100%.
Could be...
Oh, they're locking it in. Never mind. All right, so let's be a bit serious for a moment, as of course Yasuo was one of the original counters into Nam many years ago. I don't know whether the matchup is still as good.
It gets pushed in, but right now, on this patch, not so much. As Willer is coming over here for an early gank.
Yeah, Closer is going to come in, as there's the Shifting Sands. Faker's done that one before. Of course, Azir is his most played champion by about double. But Double Scuttle is going to come through here for T1 as Carrier.
Bubble hits.
Did he get bubbled? Exactly. There's the flash forward. Envy looking for the second kill as well, as First Blood goes to Kyle. Oh, bit of a disaster here for T1 on the bottom side, and the Live Sandbox bottom lane just continuing to blow my mind.
Owner is over here, but with enough minions here, I don't think he can actually pull this off. Stops his back.
Oh, Kyle. Oh dear.
The bubble.
Prison is pretty good, but still going to be the kill going over to the Vi. So they even things out, but First Blood Gold still there.
Specific thing I noted going into this series when looking at the pre-game interviews is that Kyle was like, I really am worried about the laning phase. Like, that's my biggest concern. It's been great so far.
Yeah.
Closer coming up here. Zeus, see if he gets caught. Has flash.
Can get through this minion wave pretty comfortably as well. As you can see, he's setting that one up. Let's see whether the funny business can come through. So smooth.
But at least the Yasuo hasn't gotten too much further ahead. This is going to be him handling this.
Yeah, the Zeus perspective.
Carefully backing away. Sees the Gnar timing. And his whole movement and everything about this is just zoning out the Gnar. He's like, I'm going to move away from Gnar range, move away from Gnar range, and then flash.
You just knew exactly what they were doing as well, as he's calling it the entire time.
His
I'm going to drop the Herald.
That there's no way he flashed Cyclones, although now he's seen.
Yeah, there's the flash forward. Carrier gets the polymorph down as Envy gonna get flashed on. Gumushi desperately wanting to get it, he'll pick it up. The final burst fire is going to get there, but now the Cyclone doing a bunch of work. Gumushi trying to kite it out, but it's not going to work. Oh, the bubble's so good, as Kyle's got 3 kills so far this game. Is that going to be the 4th? No, it's not. He is going to give one over to his jungler as well.
Oh, man.
The most fed Nami I've seen in a long time. Well, as now Gumushi just dashing forward. Another bubble is of course going to land, because Kyle doesn't miss those. As finally, Envy's going to pick up a kill here in this bottom lane, and Gumushi
gets all the way over that big fat wall.
Yeah, as Envy's found Faker. Faker is going to try and get out, and he does so as, the chicken's not going to get angry at him. Well, can T1 actually get this wraparound as Kyle not going to be the target? I thought he might be because he's so fed, as Envy's going to be able to get out of there. Close up, finding the angles, though. Perfect execution going to come through. The Yasuo's dead already. Gumushi trying to stand his ground, but it doesn't work. Double kill now for the Wukong, and I think Live Sandbox are doing it well.
I mean, this is the kind of play you make as T1 where you're like, I've got this pocket of vision, I'm going to punish, but there's so much peel between the Cyclone and that Navi ultimate. Closer looking for a solo kill.
Emperor's Divide goes completely wide. As Faker, he has the ability to walk over the wall. Closer, not so much. He's in the Thunderdome with all of these Sand Soldiers. Now trying to get these Qs to land as there's the backflip, and that's the solo kill.
Sandbox, but still so much gold, and then Closer finds Faker, who's just trying to come down here in the side lane. And there's just no vision here for T1, and it's such a rare game of T1's lack of vision here, because they usually have such an advantage at this state in the game that there's just no surprises. But Faker getting caught with his pants down a little bit here too, and
it doesn't even need to flash as well.
Yeah. Willer's response.
Yeah, Closer.
I love Willer, man.
He's actually the cheerleader for his team. Remember, he was doing this for Bertle as well.
He's kind of the damn Daniel guy, you know?
Yeah. And I believe Closer just, no, never mind. I don't know what kind of world we're living in, but it's a world where I do need to make that statement. As, all right, Ona is going to come in, see whether they can actually protect this. As Zeus in a whole bunch of trouble, he's just going to get taken down. As Ona as well, going to be eviscerated as Closer just cleaning up the backline. Perfect execution is beautiful, as Faker is going to push the Akali into Gumushi. He has to flash, does manage to make it out as Faker grabs the kill. On to Closer, flashes out as well. I mean, it was a sick play from Faker, but everybody else is dead, guys. It's possible, but unlikely.
Yeah.
What it kind of feels like at this point. But the gold lead has not really been stretched too much. The Sandbox do need to try and figure out a way to close the distance. As Closer, he's got an idea. He's thinking, I'll just kill this Yasuo. And he does so. It's going to be Willa grabbing the kill credit for it. Bertle's on the bottom side of the map. But it's now a 4 versus 4 because Zeus is dead.
Yeah, Yasuo not too great at the champions that could just circumvent his mobility like that and stop his win wall from getting value. Is now, this is going to be the go button on this Baron.
Get in for a steal, but look at this. The positioning's fantastic. Bertle's there to try and get the Gnar as he dives over the wall. The wallop is just so good, and they were so prepared for the turn. It was beautifully done. Closer dives on top of Faker one more time. 5-point strike, that's the ace, and Liv Sandbox will win game 1.
Liv Sandbox starting off with a bang here, Atlas. I mean, there's not much else to say. Start to finish, clean laning, punish plays over and over and over again, and Kyle, 3-1 and 13 on this Nami, almost 100% kill contribution in this game. The guy was nuts, he hit the bubbles. T1 made some risky plays from behind, and now it's one man against them all.
Yeah, this is the Yasuos that I'm used to seeing. We thought it was enemy team Yasuo, it was my team Yasuo in the end, as these Nexus turrets not long for the world. But this was basically flawless League of Legends from Liv Sandbox. They end the game with a 10,000 gold lead. Envy also just doing so much work, and you can see these damage numbers aren't that high because this game was over in 26.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was a stomp. We'll go because obviously if you hit the Scion instead of those backline targets, you're going to have a terrible time. So Bertle will be tested very heavily here against more reliable poke in the Corki. And, you know, we get all the way down to the end. And Willer's just going to play another game of Wukong, it looks like here. A lot of defensive options you could use very strong into Valkyrie engages or package engages.
Settling themselves and realizing that they're not going to be able to roll over the top of this one. 73.2% win rate here for Faker on the Corki.
Yep, it's
been playing it for a very long time.
42nd game, as you were mentioning, it's his third most. It was tied with LeBlanc. Since past it.
There you go.
Here comes Miller.
Be in trouble. We were talking about this. Gets the boot back as Zez just going to walk it out as best he can. Hasn't flashed yet, guys. Is going to flash eventually. And yeah, Liv Sandbox, it's flash for flash in the top lane. So honestly, now the attack continues. Envy moving forward. They look for Gumayushi, who takes a lot of damage, but Envy, he hasn't even flashed yet. Is he going to? Yeah, he does finally. And now that is a dead Varus. Really beautifully done from Carrier. Picks up first blood. I thought Kyle was going to die there, but nope, able to snipe him.
Really?
And that was weird positioning.
A really peculiar choice. They wanted to make a set play with the grenade there. So here's the Emperor's Divide.
Yep, Faker is just going to trade that for another Valkyrie as he looks to turn it on to Closer.
Eat something here before this Rift Herald fight. This is very risky.
Yeah, there's a Glacial Prison, and Closer should just die. Emperor's Divide comes down, and they just head into that one for a bit of fun. And Liv Sandbox, because of that, cannot commit to this Rift Herald.
Yeah, not at all. And very questionable call here from Closer, just stepping forward here.
Well, we're going to see another play as into the top lane comes Ona, and Permafrost is going to hit onto Bertle. He does have Flash available, but he realizes that he's just dead anyway. And now there is a Rift Herald available, not even going to be put down on this top side, as T1 are in such a powerful position. I mean,
can we make it viral? Like Woody grabs Bertle and he's like, hold up, you bought the wrong item. We might want to undo that one.
Yeah, I think so. As Ona's going to come in, Will is here as well, but they are very far behind. Bertle going to be the first one to flash away. Oh, the knockoff is so good, but unfortunately, it's not good enough. Zayas can just keep charging these, and he's got another Soul Furnace. That's going to be the double. Ona here just in the nick of time.
And, I mean, okay, hold up, Faker.
Another delivery to the turret, as Faker has a lot of Sand Soldiers to contend with. Closer trying to set up for this one, has Leandri's. Oh, the last auto's not going to be there.
Doesn't flash for it.
Okay, well, Carrier's just going to throw a full combo into Closer, and he sets up for it. Even Bard going to come through.
Into the most confident game of all time. I don't know. Envy, you sidestep this one, you might be dead anyways.
Well, the flash comes in. Great Light Binding is going to connect, though, as Kyle is going to get taken down. Gumayushi is all over the place right now on this Caitlyn, most mobile champion in the universe, apparently. Willa lying in wait. Liv Sandbox, can you find an avenue to to do battle here, as one Lucent Singularity is enough to zone them out. Okay, Envy. Another cleanse is going to come through. It's a decent Cyclone by Willer as Gumayusi's in an awkward spot. The Emperor's Divide is going to pick him up, but it's a trade for 2 already. That Light Binding was so sick, as Kerry is like, you got POG, Kyle? Where's mine? As I think he might be able to get at this game. Zayas is going to pick up another kill on his opposite number. The Gore Drinker, unfortunately, not doing what it needs to. Certainly like a few things that you have to ban right now is Willa going to be cycloning, but look at this. Kerry's just keeping them in position alongside Ona. Envy in a bunch of trouble as well. As just look at all of the damage raining in from everywhere. It's a double kill for Gumayusi's angry about dying earlier on as Faker's flashing, lands the blind rocket into closer. That was a solo kill somehow. Of course, everyone with a decent score this game.
With his crown, obviously he can be up more in the thick of things into,
okay, Ace in the hole gets the kill. That's another one. Carrier sets him up, and Gumayusi spikes him down. They're just playing volleyball, man.
He could be up in the thick of things with the crown doing stuff like this, but he could also be in the face of a cycloning Wukong. He could be in the face of an engaging Azir and shut those down, as now he can help clear this vision here onto the Baron. And, I mean, he's not afraid of anything. He's like, I'm looking for another Light Binding. Where are you guys coming? You guys trying to walk through here?
Well, Willa, he has stolen these before, as Ona says, well, we're not going to let you. Jace going to go down first, as Closer. Can we actually fight this, Live Sandbox? Can you fight this?
Okay, this is going to be a long con flank.
Yeah, and he's moving up as Closer doesn't find the Emperor's Divide. Bertle trying to make his way in. Closer goes golden as now Envy has to deal with Ona. Zayas is going to move in as well. Can he find it is the question, as Faker will go down. Maybe he does die in his 800th game, but I don't think he's going to lose. Light Binding will connect onto Bertle, who dives on in. Does have to make his way out, though, as the Warrior Trickster clone is going to be taken out. And now the flanking Gumayusi, absolutely terrifying, as Willa absolutely nowhere to go. And there it is, the final headshot will come through. And there is the ace for T1. To lose that fight, Faker does go down, but one kill, not going to be the end of the world. There's a package delivery, as Faker will go golden. What the heck is that package damage? That's 2 kills from just package Valkyrie combo. It's revolting. Emperor's Divide going to be used onto Ona, as the Q from Zayas doesn't land, but look at how tanky these boys are. They are just not taking any damage whatsoever.
It's the messiest ace, or the fastest and like, just bloodthirstiest ace I've ever seen. I mean, 20,000 gold. 20,000 gold. Does feel like if you watched the D+ versus Live Sandbox series and then you fell asleep and just woke up and watched this one, you'd be like, oh man, nothing has changed. I think that 6-2 might be a typo in the top right. It is arguably more one-sided than the last one early on this season. T1 bringing it to a 3rd game. Not much to see here.
No, absolutely not. Oh! They're trying to make us forget game 1 just a little bit, as now they're going to go for some kills. Willa in the bouncy castle as Bertle dives on top, manages to take down Carrier, but the Nexus will fall as well, and a big grin on Faker's face, as you can see. T1 clapping back there in game 2, and now
the 2 roughest parts for me for Live Sandbox in this game, because the rest of the 15 minutes that happened after that were kind of irrelevant. We have seen historically the early game very poorly.
He did it again, but the other way around. You love to see it.
And I mean, this Elise Sin pick can be very strong in the early game into Elise.
Just letting us know that they remember that we're on 13.3, and that is very, very cool. I want to shout out to our boy LS, just to say that the Orianna wasn't picked. Is a difficult matchup for the Annie, but it's going to be the Azir this time.
Yeah,
it's not too bad into it.
It's really difficult to pick Orianna here and just assume a ranged version of basically long-range engage with a little bit of burst damage when played as support like this. And, you know, we'll get to see what this looks like because Carrier didn't, die at level 1.
It's 121 games. Oh, man. That's put T1 in a great position as Ona lands the Q. I love this guy's Lee Sin, man, as he flashes on top of the Azir, but it's a decent little snare, but he was holding onto the turret aggro. Faker didn't want to flash. He saw that the turret shot was in the air. And he's going to use it immediately. Got to make sure that you get these things on cooldown. Let's see whether he uses it now. There it is, and Faker, the first blood solo kill.
Doesn't even need to flash. calm and collected as Willer.
Yeah, he's going to try and get one back onto Ona here as he goes up into the sky, comes back down, and there's the kill, but it's answered immediately. Gumayushi picking that one up. Carrier now trying to get these stuns down, but it's a double kill once again for Kyle, but Faker is coming. Flashes forward, gets into the shroud now as Envy hit by the backflip. Faker, are you going to go back in? The answer is no. They're going to eat some honey fruit instead. They're just a little bit peckish, and that is absolutely fine. Big boulder toss onto Zeus. He wants the stun. Leap strike. Has to get out that ward. Ooh. Throws a house at him as now Zeus throws out the ulti, but he's put himself back in range. Another leap strike comes in, and man.
He knows he's got to be somewhere, right? Now he sees him.
Yeah, there's the backflip. Emperor's Divide comes through as Faker's hit by the cocoon. It's the special delivery. As he dives in, he wants to commit to it. There's the perfect execution, but Closer, he'll just set up the Sand Soldier and grab the kill.
Old soul fights.
It is definitely telling a story about how this game is going, as I'll hold that thought. Ona's going to move over. Cocoon is going to layer that CC. Leap Strike gets Zeus relatively out of danger, but now the bear comes down! Oh no, bears versus spiders. You know, you always take the bear on that one, as good night Karma as well. Bertle now underneath his turret. Is he safe there? The answer is yes for now. True Shot Barrage.
We saw just last game. Okay, hold up.
All right, we'll see whether Gumayushi can actually win the 1v1 here, as the Burst Fire has been landing quite effectively. He'll close the gap, and Envy gets into the brush and picks up the solo.
And how these fights can go.
Yeah, let's have a look at this fight one more time, though, because a few of these Qs went wide, and if he lands one extra one, guys, it is a dead Ezreal.
And a few of Envy's Qs like blocked by minions and stuff. He plays it so well.
진짜. 말도 안 된다.
He's like, I can't believe it. Yeah.
Willa can dive in, and it looks like T1 are just baiting a team fight. They just want to be able to get a turn, as there's the Flash Bear. They'll dive on top of Envy, who uses all of his dashes, but he cannot escape. Kyle, so incredibly low, and Faker just dives on top of him. Willa gonna get taken out as well. That turn was just beautiful, and T1 will now take the Baron for real.
And this is one of those moments where if you're in the coaching booth, you're gonna be screaming and pulling your hair out as Liv Sandbox. You knew Carrier was on the edge there. You saw him for just a brief moment. You were checking constantly with those cues. You had the Spiderlings coming in to try to identify him. You saw him once.
As Liv Sandbox pushing forward. It's getting dangerous though, as there is a lot of darkness around them. Faker is going to sweep this, knows what's going on, as Closer is looking to turn this on to Ona. Can the kick actually work out is the question. The answer is absolutely not, as Faker dives on in onto Envy. The backflip is nullified as Faker goes golden as well. True Shot Barrage is timed a little bit off, but Closer's still going to dive in on top of him. That backflip, just barely missing, and Carrier locks down the kill on the Ezreal in the end, and now Zeus looking to tidy it up. Man, it was so close to Liv Sandbox finding it. And Willa, he's landed a few of these. Let's see whether he can get it. As Zeus, he runs at the enemy team and then ends up in the Baron pit. It is going to be secured by Ona. Willa goes golden, but he's now just in the back of this pit, and all hell will break loose. Kyle going to be targeted by Ona, does manage to make it out at least for a moment, but I think that is just it. There is the ace. T1 will move to sole possession of first place here as they round out the first round robin of Spring 2023 with a victory.
Carrier looking like he's probably going to pick up the solo POG tonight. Atlas with this performance on the Annie, catching Envy out. Liv Sandbox so close,
yeah,
but so far in Korean variant. 잘 먹겠습니다. Interesting that he would speak Japanese there jokingly there at the end. I mean, he does end up doing 8,000 damage this game. Notice his early game damage very low on this Andy because he was just holding stuff.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that, to be honest. But I suppose we are getting to the point where Gnar is just so comfortable and can get through any lane that players are just willing to pick it into anything, including Silas.
And inactivity is kind of the dream for Dom1. And as I say that...
Okay, some stuns coming in, but it is, again, it's Tom Kench. I know it's been a while, but he is basically the same champion. Got nerfed a bunch and changed a bit, and he's still here. And this is what I mean when I say shaping the early game. Willer's trying to get as aggressive as possible and try to just skirmish with Canyon early on before he gets too tanky.
The call. Willer going in very aggressive, gets the smite, even despite the burn, and will be able to pick it up. Kenyon not having the smite available there, so was never going to get that. And this is looking good.
Yep, this is the first dive. I mean, if you're not doing this with this comp, you're doing something wrong, right?
Yep.
So, to be expected, and they do it very well. Well, at least it's a lot better understood. Let's say that. As Bertle's in a lot of trouble here. Don't think he's getting out of this one. He does have flash. He's opting to go south, and it might actually work out for him. As, no, Canyon just follow flashes. Oh, wait! Whoa! The flash auto from Kana's not enough! And the sapling is not even going to chase him.
Is a Chemtech or a Cloud. There's a oh, hold up.
Now they're going to try to pick the Maokai with the Tom Kent standing behind him. That didn't work. As they saw very soon, his closer's in a lot of trouble. He is getting pretty low, and nice little shield, but it's a bit too much as Willer goes in, kicks in the Sivir, and he's on the run. There is actually a chance as Kyle gets in and shields him. Not sure about that one, though, as it's not quite enough. Envy now frontlining is going to get a flash as he's 1v3, but everybody is so low that he actually is winning this trade. Little saplings, as always.
Ooh, closer. Big ultimate.
Yep, Closer's got it. He actually tried to go in there onto Kana as here comes Meganar. And there you go, the flash shot in there trying to get on top of Closer, who's just going to ult him. And guess what? Showmaker just dies on the left side of the screen. We didn't even really get to see that as everybody was chasing Closer, who had Gnar ultimate. And Showmaker was left out to dry, use both of his summoners and still died.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. I'm gonna have to see a replay for that one. We know how Closer survived, and
the flash chains of corruption, like how many times have we seen this? And it's just a great play setup from Live Sandbox as Showmaker's trying to poke, and, well, this is what this comp does.
Oh, he flashed after them. Okay, yeah. Well that's not ideal. Unfortunately for Showmaker, they're never gonna make it out of that one alive. Like,
is it going to be enough? Is it going to be as impactful? Kellen still with Devour is going to be huge as Bertle with the flank coming on in and double Maokai ultimates as in goes Canyon and the Cloud Drake is secured and Canyon goes down, but Bertle is incredibly low as everybody on the side of Live Sandbox is just trying to go on the run. Kyle might be the sacrificial Annie at this point in time as he is quite fast, but he will go down in the end. So they trade an Annie for a Cloud Soul, which helps them get away. As, they've got a little angle here as the kick actually gets the Tom Kent straight into the team, and now Canyon is going to get picked as well. And look at the Sivir on the back line. There's just a Jax right on top of her, but the damage is still there. A lot of low health bars here on the side of Live Sandbox. And Showmaker's still full health as well.
And now on this next fight, I don't think D+ can fight it. I don't think they have the itemization or the control.
Oh boy, that's maybe a dead Kana. He has a stopwatch. There is a Chaos Storm in there. They're going pretty deep for just the Gnar. Have they gone too deep is the question. They get the Maokai here, as now they're on the chase for Kellen. Look at the damage that Envy is putting into this one. Just tanking in the front line, gonna cleanse. Goes in with the stopwatch. Did he bait himself and his team in? He doesn't give a damn. He's still frontlining. This guy is insane. As now Closer gets to the back line. That is a clean ace from Live Sandbox as they will roll over DK and they will take the game.
And that is going to be it here for game number 1, Valdez. We kept waiting for D+ comps to turn online. Turns out, never gonna happen, at least not in this game. Clean game here in game number 1. The key thing that we're seeing here is that you cannot allow Sandbox to just take full control of the game. This is D+ with this draft saying, hey, you get free reign of the map for the first 20-25 minutes, and if you haven't done good enough, we automatically win. And as it turns out...
All right, well, we had a groan from the audience. You know, Live Sandbox, they played game number 1 very well because they had so much control and they had so much early dominance, but game number 2 will not look like that at all. And I think they might have misinterpreted, you know...
Kalin already getting some early gold. Deft.
Uh-oh. Deft in a rough spot here. He's going to try to walk it out. The damage not quite there, but he flashes after. And, you know, there was potential for someone to flash in and last hit him, so...
Yeah, this is a...
Either way, he loses flash.
Disaster. So Envy started with W, which is suboptimal, but not the end of the world. Rather start with Q, but you'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
But Deft already not having a flash is...
Well,
because this is still a level 3 Elise.
yeah. And it's got a great matchup into the Maokai. Unless you have a lot of support, as there's another sapling. Very nice repel just to get out of harm's way. But again, it's not bot diving, so it's not what you want.
Well, it still doesn't matter, because they're still level 1. Where have we seen this before?
Huh, I can't recall Chronicler.
Yeah. And Closer, as we mentioned...
He might TP in if this gets too risky, as no repel. Canyon in a rough spot. He's going to be repelling now, as one last shot will do it after the flash. Not the dive you were looking for. No teleport required to the bottom side. And now Kyle and Envy are safe for now. I mean, there is something to say about the fact that this was 1,000% known by Live Sandbox, right? Like, it is the most obvious thing. Like we just saw in the last series, and we saw him coming in on wards, right? That Kakuna's gonna miss. That's actually pretty annoying for Canyon more than anything else. I'm not sure that Kana really could have gotten over there and done a huge thing to Willer, but yeah, just nothing seems to be going right for Canyon here early on.
Really hasn't been. And Willer also going for the first strike, so gonna scale immensely well into this game. Gonna be able to get so much done, as it really is. It's very straightforward, right? Gets tagged by the turret, and then as a result, it's the flourish into the and then the
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Got him. I saved it.
lead is questionable, but at least right now that he will have in experience. And the setup that is there for a possible ultimate of his can still be very threatening, but they can't really give over control as Kana...
Again, he's just going to kind of face check this, really wanting to force the flash. Is Bertle. Good job done there. So a nice little trade going back to Bertle. So once again, he'll have control of the lane. He'll get his flash up first. That opens up some interesting timings as well. In the 1v1, but also in a team fight. Are you a fan of the Maokai skin? Speaking of which, that stun was so close. As now the Hyper Procs and the... Yeah, he's stunned in. That's going to be the end of Bertle, right? One more auto will do it. Kana will take him down, as meanwhile, Canyon died. And that is going to be secured here by Closer, I believe, who picked up the kill.
You're not going to be feeling too good, as I imagine Willer just goes, just flashes on top, CC chain comes through, and Closer comes in. Not a lot of counterplay to that one, as...
It's not Annie, but you can still get it done.
Kana with really nice timing on the hop there, and Bertle at this point knows, yeah, I'm dead. Bit frustrated with himself, been playing the matchup well up until this point, but that's the problem with Gnar. Once you're in, once you commit, you got it.
Closer's bot, Bertle's top, and you'd have to imagine that Willer and Kyle really should not get picked here amongst all of this. Chains of Corruption going to go wide as Willer, okay. They're actually having a fight up in the top lane as we speak. Flash available for Kana. He's going to have to flash away from this one, as another Leap Strike could get it done, but one small boomerang is all it takes to stop the man with the lamppost.
That's healed. Yeah, very important there is that there wasn't that much vision for Bertle either, so if he goes in there and dies again, if there's any time travelers, please raise your hand.
Oh, okay, we're just doing Baron. All right.
Maybe that was the sign.
They have decided to do the Baron, and you know what? These saplings and Kyle together are really good at stopping them from getting in here. And how about a Maokai ultimate too? They're just going to take it down in turn. Unbelievable. They're going to pick up the Gnar and the Azir. Just like that. Closer's like, yeah, I'll take a Baron and a side of Gnar. And how about an extra side of Showmaker as well?
There with the vision.
Watch this guy's hands. I'll keep it going.
Carry.
Yeah,
he was.
True.
Now he has GA.
Now he has GA. He did.
He did have IE. He didn't have GA yet.
Okay. Well, now he's going to be massive. And now the Live Sandbox are actually in a decent spot. It's okay. Never mind. Maybe as a little engaged from Kana. He's going to get an ult out, but now he's going to get caught, and the pick potential of Liv Sandbox is off the charts. This TP, very interesting, but it gets 2 stuns under the turret. The turret does eventually go down, but very over-aggressive here from Liv Sandbox and from Birdall. As now the Jhin is opening up, Closer looking for more. He wants to crit some people down. His last shot is going to go straight into the back of the Elise. And how about a bit more?
Oh, Showmaker. Good luck. If you can flip this somehow, that might be enough. But this composition from Sandbox with zone control is...
This is getting kind of
menace.
interesting. Yeah, it really is, but...
Oh, don't flip it, though.
I mean, DK also have some options here, although Kana is going to get caught out. That might just be 100-0. Closer gets in, but he's going down. He's got a GA, but the damage is there. They take out Kana. They take out Kellen, and that will be another one. The entire backline is totally destroyed. And Canyon, just on the run, is going to get emoted on as Birdall and the bros from Liv Sandbox looking to take the clean ace, end the game, and a potential 2-0.
And Sandbox about to end it all. You don't even need the dragon. Who cares about that?
Do you think they can end? I mean, the death timers are so close.
Kind of short.
They're very low.
They do have a wave.
But
No Baron.
Yeah, the wave, it should be enough, I think.
It's just Callan, yeah.
Oh, here's...
Members aren't there.
Kellen's like, please, don't kill it. Okay, well, you can take me. Down he goes, and that's going to do it. Yeah, Liv Sandbox will take down the Nexus. There you go, clean 2-0. Liv Sandbox, they grab the bull by the horns. They do not waste any time. They take down the Baron, and the turn was immaculate. DK could not stand up to the onslaught of Liv Sandbox tonight. He had some big moments, but head and hands at the end as well. And yeah, I think the goal difference graph tells a lot of the story. There was one team fight at the first dip from blue to red, and then the other big dip in the red side was the dragon fight.